Alexa TV presents in 3, 2, 1, Dateline Schools with your host, Terry Harrington.
Well, this week on Dateline Schools, have the privilege of sitting down and talking to Mike McCartan. He's the president of the East China School Board, and he is stepping down at the end of the year after 24 years of service on the board. And Mike, 24 years is a long time, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of challenges that education has faced and changed, or have they changed over the years?
Well, I think the challenge is more now related to almost the business end of education. When you don't have enough resources to do all the things that you would want to do, then you have to decide what is it that you're now going to do that you can afford to do. And so we've been faced with trying to decide, what's the core of the onion? What is it that, we think has to be protected at all costs? And that's been, the teacher in the classroom, which means, by definition, then anything that's not that becomes sort of vulnerable. And so we've had to, eliminate a lot of programs over time. At the same time that I think communities and maybe society in general expects more from its educational system, wants more things put in, and there are only so many hours in the day. And I think, socioeconomically, we have kids coming with much more challenges than they ever did before. And, we're talking about free and reduced lunches. We're talking about backpacks going home on the weekend so the kids can eat and come prepared on Monday morning. Those are things that I think maybe they're sort of the underbelly that a lot of people don't see, but they are realities in our school system. And do all of that with trying to keep up with technology and all of the changes that are there. Enormously challenging.
And not to mention, we had new No Child Left Behind come in, the state's coming up, and nationally, the new core curriculum and all that. Those are pretty great challenges, too.
Well, they are, but I think it still comes down to the teacher in the classroom, and folks will step up. Kids are kids, and they'll always be the same kids. It was always a challenge for me to talk about even No Child Left Behind, because there's a bell curve, and there are children who will struggle at one end, and there are children who achieve wonderfully at the other end, and then there's those kids in the middle. So huge challenges, and certainly the concept makes a lot of sense. But I think we also have to tailor education a little bit better sometimes than we do.
Back with more tomorrow. For Dateline Schools, I'm Terry Harrington.